Oblivion Wrestling fans, welcome one, welcome all. Jordan Castle back at the call for singles competition as the desirable Damian Desire goes head-to-head with Spectacle Cole Wright. These two in the feeling out process here. Expect fast-paced, high-octane action from the both of these athletes. Of course, Cole Wright, as you heard, a fan favorite, Damian Desire, with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, coming to us from the Phoenix area, trained by the renowned Charles Cassius, and going to employ some of C3's allotted practices here tonight, but much easier said than done against the very popular, very vivacious Cole Wright. See Cole's connection with his native Washington faithful getting into the head of Damian Desire. Damian, in many ways, skilled and accomplished beyond his years, but you see the youth, you see the relative inexperience come into play here. Taking out some of his aggression on the Spectacle. Desire, again, breaking out. Make his name here on the West Coast, and the win over Cole Wright would go a very long way in doing so, but as we're seeing fans dropping Desire with a shoulder block, much easier said than done. Wright all sorts of fired up here tonight. You'll notice Desire with the protective shoulder brace. Shoulder, no doubt, feeling the effect of the arm drag. And you gotta be careful, that shoulder brace, a double-edged sword, obviously protecting Damian Desire, but as we're seeing here, can also serve as a target for the opposition, and Wright more than happy to take advantage, dropping Desire shoulder first on the canvas, and all smiles here is the Spectacle. Desire here, not one to be made a name out of, wants to make a name himself, doesn't care about sending the people home happy, doesn't care who their particular favorite is. Shoulder block of his own here, cinching in that headlock, curiously with the injured shoulder, with the injured, neutralized side of his body. So it'll be interesting to see if Cole Wright can again use that to his advantage, looking to muscle Desire up. Escaping the hold, drops down, leapfrog, no, Hurricane Rana! How about that, Cole Wright? Cole Wright maybe realized Damian Desire a little too tall for the vertical there. Went for a Hurricane Rana instead, and now body slam into a T-bone suplex. Power on display here from Cole Wright. Got the shoulders down, and a kick out. Not hooking the leg, but again, pressing that hand into the chest. Close to that guarded shoulder. Desire worse for the wear here in the early going, fans. Elbow to the mush of Wright. Good amount of comeback here is Damian Desire. Takes right down to the canvas, and now a slingshot on the turnbuckle. I want to point out, those are the boxing style turnbuckles, a much thicker, a much harder edge on the top where the face of Cole Wright just connected with. Shot from Damian Desire, pressing the advantage here. Cannot afford to let the support, chance, the fervor of the Oblivion faithful for Cole Wright get in the head of the desirable. Back in the corner this time, Wright with an answer, lands on his feet. Springing off the ropes from a big clothesline into the cover. And a kick out. Now here's a guy in Cole Wright who has been everywhere. Originally trained in Mexico, has traveled to the West Coast to compete, has trained in the Land of the Rising Sun in Japan. So a win over Cole Wright is a win over someone who has been and often beaten some of the very best. Once again, targeting that side, curiously, not going to Damian's right, going to Damian's left. Where that shoulder brace is, not having much of an effect here. And this time it's Cole Wright spilling to the outside. Ugly, ugly landing on the hardwood floor here. And fans, a reminder, there is no padding, as you can see here in Oblivion Wrestling. Nothing whatsoever to cushion the blow for Cole Wright. Already a devastating blow to the outside, padding or otherwise, but especially with no protection, Wright in a very, very bad way, and now the match perhaps belonging to Desire. Desire, someone who marches to the beat of his own drum. Brings the umbrella to ringside, and as you're hearing here, there is no bigger fan. Take nothing away from Damian Desire. I myself see a great deal in Damian Desire, but there is no bigger fan of Damian Desire than Desire himself. I don't think it's unfair to call this kid a narcissist. Unique offense here, almost twisting through into an uppercut to the neck, cover, kick out. Again, the youth, the inexperience of Desire starting to bleed through. Not staying on Wright, instead turning his attention towards the official, getting in her face, yelling at her. Can't win the match that way, certainly lose the match that way. Standing switches here, Wright rolling through, shoulders down, Desire kicks out. Again, springing off the ropes, still only a 2. The first time in this matchup, Cole Wright is staggered, back in control once again, but staggered against the young Damian Desire. Try to rally behind the Oblivion Wrestling faithful, but much easier said than done when Desire gets his boot up and lands 2 more on your back. Double foot stomp to the spine, Wright writhing in agony here. Easy for me to say. As Desire slows things down, Wright, such an energetic, excitable professional wrestler, not so for Damian Desire. Again, does not care about putting a smile on the face of the Oblivion Wrestling faithful, does not care about sending the fans home happy as he lands the hip attack. All he cares about is winning, gaining notoriety, gaining a further payout of the proverbial pay window. Not only slowing things down strategically, I think Desire relishing in the control. Not only over Cole Wright, but over the Oblivion Wrestling faithful as the spectacle looks to find his way back in this thing. Desire cuts him off with a drop kick. Into the cover, this time hooks the leg. Still not enough. Wright wants to find a way back in this thing, fans. From my vantage point, from where I sit, he needs to quicken the pace. We saw those high-octane, high-flying moves, how well they served Cole Wright, and right now he needs them more than ever. Back up to a vertical base, torture rack position here. Wright, able to escape. Perhaps here's that second wind he's looking for. Off the ropes again. Into a German suplex. And he ain't done. Holding the waist lock for a second. And are we gonna see it? Perhaps a hat trick? No, we are not. Got a little too comfortable, did Cole Wright. Damian Desire saw that third German suplex coming off the ropes himself now, staggered, and leaves the opening for Cole Wright to catch him in midair and land the third German suplex. Better late than never, fans. You can see that perhaps last gasp from Cole Wright took so much out of him, unable to capitalize, only just now starting to stir. No one, least of all these competitors, wants to see this one end in a double count out. Official up to a count of 6. And Wright kips up. Feeding off the people. The spectacle putting on one here. Flurry of strikes to Damian Desire. With his head. Says off with his head, and Desire says, I'd like to keep it on my neck, please and thank you. Slicing some bread. Is he the best thing since? We're about to find out. Oh, Cole Wright kicks out. You can see Desire getting desperate here, trying to shake some of the cobwebs. Of course, Wright, a third-generation motorcycle stunt rider, knows all about taking risks. He might need to take some bigger risks than we've even seen thus far to contend with the determined Damian Desire. Now perching right on the top rope. That was a very, very dangerous place to be, fans. Very dangerous. Wright knows it. Fighting tooth and nail to escape the clutches of Desire. Desire shoves him off the top. He's there himself, and now it's Wright taking advantage. Olympic slam from the top. Cover! He got him! Cole Wright here, sending the Oblivion Wrestling faithful home happy here tonight. And he's got a great deal to be happy, to be proud of himself. Damian Desire came here tonight with something to prove, and I'd say victory and defeat, as the old adage go. He proved a great deal. Washington boy, Cole Wright, victorious. Riding his Harley up the mountain here in Oblivion Wrestling. What a win for Cole Wright.